Okay, great. Yeah, so very excited to have Andras from Ether Cards with us and Dave and a few of their team members. Yeah, so very welcome to have everybody here. I'm Yaxing. I'm one of the co-organizers for Taipei Ethereum meetup group. I'm also the founder of Radical Exchange Taipei chapter. I'm also working with Mikara. I'm the operations manager for HashCloak. It's a blockchain privacy focused startup in Canada. Yeah, so very excited to have the Ether Cards team with us, and I'm happy to have like all the Taipei folks here in this call today. So let me quickly introduce the speaker today. So Andras is the co-founder and CEO of Ether Cards, and Dave sort of like introduced us. So I met Dave at ECC in Paris last year, and he did this sort of like a magic trick to all of my friends around me. So it was very nice meeting everybody. Um, yeah, so like to invite Andres to share what he has with us.
Okay. Should I get started or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, hello, everybody. My name is Andras Kristof. I live in Singapore, and we have been in the blockchain space for very long. We started in around 2013. We built and deployed the first Bitcoin ATM in Asia in 2014 February. Then we forked Ripple and created a distributed asset management system where we removed XRP so it cannot be pumped, and we put in ring signatures from Monero so it can be more private than normal XRP. It went okay. We got this funded, but soon after this, Ethereum came out in the late 2014. So we started to work with Ethereum ever since. And we have been working with Ethereum for many years now, since the very beginning. We worked with quite a few bigger players as well. We worked with Consensus. We worked with the Ethereum Foundation. We did quite a few projects for them. And for example, we did the NFT ticketing for the Osaka DevCon. And if everything goes well, we will do the NFT ticketing for the Bogota DevCon as well, whenever that DevCon is going to be. We don't know yet the actual dates. So we have been working in the space for long, and we have been working with NFTs for 2 or 3 years now. We had a project about a year ago, which is a very interesting project regarding education and creating certificates on the blockchain. And it was a very interesting project, and we was 4 or 5 months into the development when we realized that there is no strong business case, there is no strong monetization strategy for the project. And then it kind of I started to think about what can we do to create a monetization strategy for blockchain projects that are not financial based. We have a lots of projects that would need monetization on the blockchain, but cannot get it because if you are not financial based, you don't have a token that you can issue, and then the number go up and everybody goes in and pumps it up, and then you will get funded. But if you are doing something very important, let's say a privacy solution on the blockchain, then good luck getting funded, because you cannot release your own token, and you can't really depend on VCs, because most of the monetization strategy of traditional companies is to sell the user data, and that is not going to happen when you are building a proper blockchain-based project. So projects on the blockchain that are not financial based have problems getting properly monetized. And we came up with a system which is an NFT based system that can provide a monetization slash funding strategy for such projects. And what EtherCards is right now is the very first implementation of that monetization strategy. So EtherCards is in itself is a very good and timely project that has to do with monetizing and gamifying NFTs. So it's a very good timing because everything and everybody is about NFTs these days. But the fundamentals and the foundations of the project is actually a monetization slash fundraising strategy that can be applied to any other blockchain-based projects that are not financial based. So this is the introduction. And now what I would like to do, I would like to show you EtherCards, a little bit of a demo and more like a walkthrough of the platform and of the tokenization system as well. And then we can discuss. And if there are any questions, then I will do my best to answer. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
thank you. So let me share my screen and then see how it goes. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay,
Yep.
fantastic. So this is EtherCards. This is the teaser page for EtherCards. As you can see, we've got this counter that goes down every day. It's very scary because we still have a lot to do for the release, but we will get there. And then the rest of the page explains the project, and the project has two parts. There is a platform and there is a token. So let's take it in the same order and discuss the platform first. If you go to the docs.ether.cards page, then you will see some documentation, and one of them is the
Hmm.
platform. So the
Yes.
plat so the platform itself is a monetization slash gamification platform that can be used by artists, by NFT token owners, and by marketplaces to gamify, monetize the NFTs, and to create engagement around it. In short, we want to build something so you can actually do something with those NFTs other than showing them, selling them, and buying them. In order to do this, we're going to release a set of games slash activities that the NFT owners or artists can utilize to make more use of their art or NFTs or to create engagements around them. The first thing that the platform will release with is a raffle. Raffles are very simple concept. They weren't discovered in blockchain, but this one is actually implemented on Ethereum. And how it works: you have an NFT that you want to raffle. You upload it to the smart contract. You decide that you want to create 100 tickets, and each ticket should be zero point 0.1 ether, for example. And then you say submit. You submit it. The raffle will show up in the interface. Anybody can see the NFT which is in the contract. They can buy tickets, and when the last ticket is sold, then the contract will reach out to Chainlink, gets a VRF random number, which is guaranteed to be random, and selects the winner. The winner can withdraw the NFT, and you can withdraw the money for the tickets. I think I can actually show it to you. This is on the testnet. So these are test images and test raffles that we have created. And if you go into one, then you can see the NFT that it is being raffled, and then here you can actually buy the tickets. And once all the tickets are sold, the winner will be picked. Uh, so raffles are very simple concepts, yet it can be very powerful. Let's say you have a CryptoPunk. You have a floor punk, which is right now about 20 Ether, and you want to create a raffle with it. So you upload it into a contract, and you say that you want to mint 100 tickets, and each ticket should cost zero point 0.3 Ether. So people will come, they will see that you've got a CryptoPunk, and they have a fair chance to get it for zero point 0.3 Ether. So they will pay the zero point 0.3 Ether, and one of them will be lucky enough to buy to win the CryptoPunk. So that person will have a punk for zero point 0.3 Ether, and you will get 30 Ether for your 20 Ether punk. So it is good for you and good for the person who wins the ticket. The second activity that we are coming out with is bingos. Bingos are also not a new concept, but we built quite a few interesting things around it. I can also show you a short demo of it. We have actually a bingo that is set up here. In this case, this person has these 7 cat cards in their wallet,
Yep.
and as soon as you open this page, the contract will see the relevant NFTs in the connected wallet and will show these cards. Correspondingly, these seven cats are also highlighted in the picture below, but in the original artwork. But you also can see that there is a lot of cats that are not yet highlighted. So the objective of the game is to acquire the rest of the 9 sets of cats, get all the 16 NFTs, and when you get all the 16 different cat NFTs, then you can withdraw the price. The price can be a lot of things. It can be straight up Ether, or it can be another expensive or valuable NFT, or it can actually be another ERC20 token. So this structure can actually be used for promotions as well. Uh, this is also very simple, but there is a lot of interesting things can be done even with this simple structure. You can even utilize a raffle to help to finish your raffle. Let's say you have collected 15 of the 16 cats, but you cannot get the last one. So what you can do, you can, for example, open your own raffle and specify that last cat, which you can actually specify as as the only card that is needed to fulfill that raffle. And you say you put on 2 Ether for that. So somebody who has that card they can go there, they can submit that missing cat NFT, they will withdraw the 2 Ether, and you will get the last and missing NFT, so you can finish your puzzle. So in this way, the bingos can also be used as bounties. And that also kind of highlights the another game mechanics, which is true for all the games that we are going to release. In order to win, for example, in order to win the bingo, in this case, you need to give up your NFTs. So in order to win the, let's say, 10 Ether, which is the grand prize of this bingo, you will have to give up the 16 cat NFTs that you have collected. So in this way, it is incentivizing the users to give up their NFTs for short-term profit. This is good for scarcity reasons as well. The next question that is usually comes up: how can you get these NFTs? If these NFTs were minted somewhere else, this is easy. For example, on OpenSea, because it's part of a series, then you can actually get them on OpenSea or anywhere else in the market. But if you decide to mint your series of NFTs on Ether cards, then you can also specify the scarcity of each card. So you can say this is the most rare, this is less rare, and so on, so on, and also the maximum issuance of each card. And once you specified all of those and the number of cards in existence and the images, the system will automatically offer to create blind bags for you. Blind bags are again a simple structure, which is well known. Blind bags are sealed bags of cards that you will get, like when you buy a bag of Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering or any other collectible card game. You get a bag of cards, but you don't know what's inside. Same idea here. From the submitted data that the creator specified, the system will create different bags. There could be actually be different bags. There could be bags that are cheaper but has less chance of getting the rare NFTs. And there can be bags that are more expensive, but it has more chance to getting the rarer NFTs in them. So people who wants to collect the puzzle will come and buy the blind bags and then open up and see in what ways they can collect the puzzle. They will have duplicates, and those duplicates will provide ways for them to exchange with other people who are trying to play the same game. Also, in many forms, you don't actually need to have all the cards all the time. It is very possible to create bingos where you expect the player to complete a row or a column of cards, and this can be done in a way that the positions of the cards will be randomized based on the address they are coming from. So the same for cats that helps me to complete a row will not help you to complete a row. So the same kind of cats are more valuable for me, and some other kinds of cats are more valuable for you. This also helps with exchanges and to create a market around the series of NFTs. This whole structure is very well known in all around the world. Either sealed bags of cards or blind bags or gachapon, where you need to where you buy something that you know what the type you are buying or the series you are buying, but you don't know which element or which member of that series you are getting. So the same mechanism here applied on the blockchain. One more important thing about raffles, bingos, and all the other games is that we don't take a cut. We don't take a percentage. The platform will take a setup fee, let's say zero point 0.1 Ether to set up a raffle or set up a bingo. But then after that, it's all yours. It's your decision for how many tickets you mint, for how much you are charging the tickets. Everything else, we don't take a cut. All we take is the first setup fee, and the rest is will be given back to the artist or the creator. And this will be true for every single thing that we do on this platform. So raffles and bingos are going to be the first two things that are going to be released. And it's not all you can use these not only by coming to Ether cards, but the business development goal of the platform is to make these games and gamification and monetization strategies to available for all the big NFT marketplaces as well. Because we are not an NFT marketplace, we are providing a set of utilities which can be used by artists or NFT marketplaces. So it is possible for, let's say, OpenSea or Nifty or Rarible to integrate with the smart contracts and make these games like raffles, bingos, and all the upcoming other games available for their users natively from their platform without even having to come to Ethercards. This is good for us because we will take a small cut on the setup fee. This is good for them because they create engagement, and it's definitely good for the users and the artists because they can make more interesting stuff with their art and with their collections. And the future is that we already have 6 or 7 additional games that we are going to release after the initial Raffles and Bingos, and we will keep improving them and adding more. So we will have an increasing tool set for creators and for marketplaces to utilize and gamify their NFTs and to actually be able to do stuff with it. So this is the platform. This is the EtherCards platform, and I would like to get back to the token itself. But if you have any questions, then please let me know, and I will answer regarding the platform.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
regarding yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I was
Uh,
just gonna ask people whoever wants to ask the question right now in
yeah.
relation to their
I
platform.
actually, this is very interesting. Thank you, Andras. And so I was wondering. So right now, the platform seems to be serving, I guess, like for ERC 1155 because, uh,
Actually,
you, you,
actually, right now it's 721s.
oh, it's 721
Yeah,
because I
1155
thought.
is. I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Because I thought like the token there will be replicated and duplicated tokens, right? And
Yeah.
I thought for NFTs like 721 is everyone, like every single of them are unique, right? And so I originally thought it was like 1155. So could you explain a bit on that?
Yeah,
Thank you.
1155 is a much better choice for the series, and we are looking forward to implement that. It's not as yet, not as well supported yet. So we have to start somewhere. We're going to start with 721s, but we are really, really looking forward to implement and integrate with 1155s as well. Also, it is going to be much better from the gas usage point of view and everything else. So it's absolutely going to happen. But right now, 1155s, you can't even see them in MetaMask yet. And so we decided to go with 725 first, 721 first.
Right. Then kind of follow-up question: how do you treat them as like duplicates in that sense? Is it with the
Uh,
metadata?
Yes, in the metadata, and there is a contract that registers when they are being minted as part of the series. It actually registers the ID of the token and the contract address, so we can actually track it even if we don't track it in the 721.
Awesome. Okay, then I have kind of a parallel question to this.
Sure.
So right now, my impression is that the platform is used for, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but the platform is used for monetization, gamification of all NFTs. Right now, what I'm looking at, it seems to me it's for individual creators. And I was wondering, is it, or do you have a tool set or like integrations for perhaps future protocols to integrate
Yeah.
with it? So for protocols, I'm meaning like, for example, maybe Hashmask, for example, like CryptoPunks feature this kind of
Yeah.
protocol to kind of directly integrate with you.
Yes.
Because I'm assuming right now it looks like the artists go on your website and then they like, upload the image and mint these
Oh, yeah,
contracts,
yeah.
right?
No, we will. I'm sorry, I should have explained that. We will support all the major contracts of 721s. You don't
Mhm.
have to mint it on our platform.
Ah, beautiful. Got
Yeah,
it. Got
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. We don't want to lock in anybody. We will support everybody who we can support from the contract point of view.
Mhm, mhm.
We just don't want to support random unknown 721 contracts because it can be abused, but all the major platforms will be supported. So you don't have to mint it with
Ah,
us.
I see. So is it right now like a whitelist? It sounds like it's a
Yes,
whitelist.
yes, it's a
Okay,
whitelist. Yeah,
got it. And
yeah,
so if there are upcoming project that wants to do this, then
yeah.
perhaps you would have some kind of form for them to fill out or
Yes,
got
yes,
it.
that's correct. That's correct. Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Very helpful.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, we can take questions later as well, but let me explain the other part of the project, the token itself, because I think that's at least this interesting, or even more. So
Yeah,
let me
go ahead.
share.
The token sales part, right?
Thank you. So let me share my screen again and then explain that as well. Just give me a second. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Here we go. So that was the platform, and this is the token. The token itself is 721, standard 721, no gimmicks in the contract. And the token has, or this Ether card has, two significant parts. One is the art itself, which is being created by artists. Some of them are well recognized, and it has a serial number. It goes from 0 to 9,999, so 10,000 tokens altogether. And it has all the usual suspects and bells and whistles of limited edition NFTs. It's in this sense, it is similar to punks and similar to hash masks and similar. So that is the art part, and that is the rarity scarcity part. We also divide the tokens into three major parts. We have by the number of digits in the serial number. So we have the OG tokens, which goes from the serials 10 to 99, so two-digit numbers. And then we have alpha tokens, which goes from 100 to 999, three-digit numbers. So we have 900 of these. OGs, we have 90. And then we have the common tokens, which goes from 1,000 to 9,999, 9,000 of them. So we have these 10,000 tokens are being divided into 90 OGs, 900 alphas, and 9,000 commons. Yes, we get another 10 tokens, which are the one-digit numbers. Those are for the founding team. Those are not going to be on sale. So this is the token part, and this is the art and scarcity part. I can talk a lot more about the collaborative art, which is going to be on most of the tokens, but I don't want to take much time with that, because this part is probably well understood and well known by everybody. The other part that is unique compared to the other platforms is the feature tokens, the traits on the cards. So what will happen is, when these cards go on sale in 16 days, 4 hours, 31 minutes, and 5 seconds, is uh, is they're going to be minted with a random selection of random number of these traits. We have more than 30 traits now, and we're probably going to manage to introduce a couple of more before the release. These traits are specifically designed to help and be useful in the context of the EtherCards platform. I will show you a couple of them. Some traits are good for creators, some traits are good for players, and other traits are good for, well, pretty much everybody, you will see. So let's start with this one. So this trait is called the free bingo setup trait. So if you have a card that you buy on the 18th, you have a card with this trait, and you keep that card in your wallet, which is connected to Ether cards, then when you set up a new bingo game, you don't have to pay for it. So this is going to be free for you, just by holding this card in your wallet while setting up the bingo. Then you don't need to pay. The fee is waived for you. Very similar trait for that is the free raffle setup. Same thing. If you want to set up your raffle, you want to raffle out one of your cards, you don't need to pay the 0.1 ETH fee. So it's technically free for you. We take no money, neither from the tickets nor from the setup, because you have this free raffle setup trait. There are multiple versions of these traits that are not displayed here. For example, there is a trait which is rarer than these, which is basically free everything. It means if you end up with a free everything trait on your card, then you will not have to pay for anything ever on Ether cards. You can utilize all the different services, all the different games, and you don't need to pay the setup fees or to actually mint a series of cards. Of course, you pay the gas. We cannot do much about that, but we don't take any from our side. So these traits are fairly good for creators. We've got traits that are good for players as well. I did mention the blind bags, and that there are different kinds of blind bags. You can get one that is cheap, but less chance of getting the good cards, and the one is expensive but has much better chance of getting the good cards. So with the lucky trait on your card, which is connected in your wallet, which is connected to the contract, every blind bag you buy, even the cheapest one, is going to be the best one. So basically, since just by having this trait on your card, the contract will max out your luck. Another interesting trait is for players, if you want to win a raffle and you are buying a raffle ticket and you have the free raffle ticket trait, then you don't get you need to pay for your ticket, but you get an additional raffle ticket for free. So if you buy one, you get one for free. I need to actually clarify this in the title. So this is good for a player. If you end up with a free raffle ticket trait, you will always get an extra ticket when you buy one, technically doubling your chances when you enter a raffle. And there are some traits that are pretty much good for anybody. One of the best that you can get is the 1% royalty trait. This is very straightforward. And there is only one 1% royalty trait among the 10,000 cards. There is only one instance of this. If you get this trait, then every single service transaction that Ether cards contract receives, somebody sets up a raffle, somebody sets up a bingo, somebody creates a series, or in the future somebody sets up a different game, 1% of every transaction goes into the wallet of the person who owns this card. Very straightforward, and can be very powerful if the platform Ether cards gets proper traction. I know having a 1 to 10,000 chance is not much. So what we did, we're going to have one card with 1% chance, 1% royalty, 10 cards with 0.1% royalty, and 100 cards with 0.01% royalty. So altogether, 111 cards taking up 3% of Ether cards' incoming revenue for eternity. Obviously, this is not something that a normal business can do a lot. So these traits on these cards, which are going to be on sale on the 18th, are very special. They are special in the sense that these are forever traits. These don't have limits. All the other traits that will be available later on, because eventually there will be traits available on Ether cards that you can buy and enhance your card, but all the other traits, or at least most of them, will have limitations. You will be able to buy a free bingo setup trait, but that trait will have either an expiry date or it will expire after a certain number of usage. So every trait that you can buy later on during the lifetime of the project will have some sort of expiry, but the traits that are in the cards in the first inaugural sale will be forever. And that's kind of it for these cards. But the last thing that I want to talk about is that if you think about it, this kind of cards and this kind of traits can be applied to almost any project on the blockchain. And this is basically what, when I was talking about a monetization slash funding framework, this is the monetization slash funding framework. Imagine that the same thing can happen to virtually any project. You can, SushiSwap can have a sushi card with traits that are designed for SushiSwap. For example, you may end up with the trait that gives you a discount when you are exchanging two specific assets, or a sets of assets in one of the pools. Then you don't need to pay the full or part of the exchange fee. And the same kind of trait system with traits that apply to the project can be very easily imagined and worked out for any project, from Rotki app to a distributed VPN application, or for ENS, or for any other projects. And so this can be a way to monetize the project and kind of extract out the user management or access management for features, and also utilize this kind of cards as sort of discount coupons and membership cards. And so what we want to do with the technology, with the underlying feature token technology, that is basically the fundamental technology behind EtherCards, is we want to make it available for anybody, for any projects to utilize it, and also to any project to use it for fundraising. And why I think that this is a very good framework for that, because if you think about it, with the cards like this, there is a direct correlation between the value of the card and the traction of the project. Think about it. For example, this royalty trade. If there is a lot of traction in Ether cards, the card with this royalty trade going to be incredibly valuable. But if nobody uses Ether cards, the card with the royalty trade will be absolutely worthless. So this was one of the design goals behind the system, is that we wanted to build a monetization and fundraising structure where there is actually a correlation between the value of the issued assets and the traction of the project. So we all remember the ICO craze, and we know that there was absolutely no correlation between how much the token worth and how well the project did. I wanted to build something when there is a strict correlation between them. And in this way, a project can actually issue this card when they announce the project, and people, we can buy the cards with useful features, which will be valuable if and when the project actually releases. So in this way, there is a way for a project to raise funds and to monetize their product on the blockchain, even if they are not a financial project. And as you have noticed, there is no ERC20s anywhere here. It's all NFTs. That's about it. That's what I wanted to show you and explain. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
So I wanted to ask, like, you mentioned the ICO craze because you were saying like the projects weren't deliver um like like
Do you want me to do you want
very, yeah,
to
like
explain those?
and then it doesn't really match up the COP tokens.
Yeah,
uh, was that one of the things that
yeah.
you noticed and then led you to the project itself?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think it's absolutely disgraceful for that we have projects with $1 billion market cap that is technically a ghost town and nobody is using it, and the whole thing is speculation. And I think this is fundamentally hurts the whole ecosystem. And I wanted to build something that is much more difficult to use for speculation.
I wonder if Dave has something to say.
You are muted, Dave.
Amazing. No,
Hello.
I think the thing which I think I've been telling everybody about this project is that it is an amazing culmination of just so many things that we have been doing over the past, 6 years or so, isn't it, Andras? I mean, like, the feature tokens that Andras was talking about, he was talking about them more than a year ago, because we have another project, which is an educational project. And he came up with this idea about all kinds of crazy things, which really, I mean, like, and I was just thinking, the idea is fantastic, but how the hell do you get the word out? And and we've, as he said, we've been doing NFTs for 2 years for the Ethereum Foundation. We did a project NFT based for consensus at Tachyon, and it's like all of these strands coming together. So I mean, it's just quite amazing, and it's also the fact that I think we have all of a sudden we have just the perfect team together, and a few other ideas that we came up with and we discussed over the last year. So yeah, I mean, I'm just like quite amazed, because it sort of like went from, the project has kind of gone from like nothing to being such an amazing thing within 2 months. Because suddenly Andras said, okay, drop everything. This is what we're going to do. And he's suddenly drawn all of these pieces together, wrapped it up, put the bow on top, and we had all of the right team in place. It was absolutely amazing.
It's interesting because the Ether Cards project reminds me of, I don't know if you remember Virgil. He was giving out a lot of gift cards, like
Those were our previous product.
Yeah.
There are, so that was also us. That was Ether Cards, but that was a physical project product, and it's
credit card like.
Yeah. But that's much. I have got like 500 in my cupboard, but it's a much more difficult and much less flexible product. So basically, we took the whole thing and made it virtual.
Dave was showing us.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to find out which camera we're choosing.
It's a very like a gift card, like.
Yeah.
So you got a scratchable thing there, and you had past phrases under it, and these were very popular, particularly at conferences and hackathons, where they could give out tokens that they just hand you one of these, and you get tokens that you can use during a project. So the good, the great thing about this was that the moment we started talking about it, everybody said, "Oh yeah, Ether Cards, we know you."
As if like you've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We were, yeah.
Yeah. How did the product idea evolved from originally was sort of a physical gift or credit card like?
I don't even think it's an evolution. It's a complete. It's 180 degrees turn.
Yeah.
And we technically kept the name, and kept the shape, but everything else is different. And the product idea actually came from my desire to build something, a monetization platform that can be used by non-financial products on the blockchain. We've got some amazing projects, and I'm sorry to say, but they are begging for scraps. They are begging on Gitcoin. They are being handed donations, and that is not correct. VCs will not touch the space mostly, because VCs want hockey curve. They want to monetization. And how do you monetize? You sell your user data. But if you actually collect your user data, then you are not actually a blockchain project. So this is not. So we see the monetization that is usually desired by most VCs, traditional VCs, is not applicable. If you do that, you are basically, I'm sorry, I'm saying it very rudely, but you betray your customers. So that is out. VCs don't like that. Don't like that you don't want to collect and monetize user data. And also the blockchain community loves to use the projects, but they also love profit. So they will spend money on financial project. They will spend money on yield farming. They will spend money on food-based pseudo-financial instruments, but they won't spend money on stuff that actually could be very useful for everybody. For example, a wallet or ENS, or we can actually get out of the space, blockchain space, even things like Mozilla, which is probably one of the most important part of an open source tool set, is having financial problems. So what I wanted to build is something that can actually offer a solution for projects like this. So you can use the blockchain, you can be open source, and you can monetize. So that is the fundamental most important message of the platform. And then the monetization of the NFTs and the whole very nicely, beautifully built up site is just one of the applications of this technology and of this monetization / fundraising technology.
So what you're emphasizing is you're not building just another NFT project. It's more of a monetization and like how you create activities that will engage
Yes.
different users.
Yes. Yes.
So how do you see if NFT marketplaces is just one of the applications? Like what are some of the other applications that you see?
Think about it. Let's say pick anybody. Let's say SushiSwap. SushiSwap can release their own cards. They don't need to be Ether cards. It's the same technology, but they can be sushi cards. It's an NFT token, which is sushi themed, and you can have the themes, the traits of whatever makes sense for sushi. For example, you can have a trait that says you have a 50% discount on the exchange fee when you are exchanging your assets on sushi. Or you have access to this pool or that pool, or you have access to this or that farming mechanism by having their appropriate trait on the card. Or you can come up with the same kind of access mechanisms and monetization mechanisms for technically any project. You can, based on this royalty system that we came up with, it is possible to share the revenue of the project with the early supporters. And you can even set it up in a way that say that so basically we made an NFT that is programmable. You can actually say that if you buy this NFT, you will get 1% of the incoming revenue up to 10 times of the money that you paid for this card. So you can come up with very elaborate ways of incentivizing people to get into this space and support the project. And you can say that if you buy this card now, you will get free service. So if you want to use that service anyway, because it's, let's say, a VPN, then you say, okay, I get this now. Yes, I take some risk because it may or may not be released. But if it gets released, I will have a free service that either I can use it or I can sell it on the open market because it's an NFT. I can sell it for an open market for anybody who wants to use it, and it will have a high price. So basically, any projects that have features and charges money for their customers can come up with a set of traits and a set of incentivization technologies that is fitting their own project. Make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Potentially DeFi protocols.
Yeah, do you mind if I ask some questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Awesome. And so, first of all, Andras, I really enjoyed this. I think this is a very noble goal. Like looking at so many projects that they're having decent utilization, but not having a proper monetization scheme this is like an awesome problem to solve. And so I kind of want to reiterate like my understanding on the monetization, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So one part of your whole monetization scheme is to increase the utility of something, right? So we're seeing the games, all the game aspect are basically creating a utility for maybe a not really usable NFT. Like it used to be just be selling, right?
Yep.
And so that's one thing that I'm seeing that you're trying to solve here, like creating the utility. Now, apart from that, you're also providing the traits. So these trait-like system is like access control, is like giving you like special rights, right? So I think this is generic to like different kinds of like protocols and system, right? I think that is awesome, and I do think this is one of the missing pieces, but like because if you go to like normal company, you know, you have like VIP access and stuff. That is essentially an NFT trait. Now, one question I do have is on the royalty. So for royalty, that NFT, I was wondering what is the benefit or key difference with that and compared to the ERC20, let's say like a profit share mechanism, right? Now, let's say a project has a profit income, and then I issue a token that I distribute my profit, and you will get the profit through like perhaps staking in the profit sharing pool. Does that, like, I kind of see like this NFT being like a one single share that cannot be divided. Like I kind of want to know your insight and your thoughts about like the key difference of these two.
Yeah. A couple of things. One is a legal difference. You can issue NFTs, but if you want to stay a non-anonymous, a project that is actually the project members are actually revealing their identity, good luck issuing ERC20s and get a lawyer's approval on that. It is not easy. But with NFTs, the same thing can actually be legally and properly created. And since we are not issuing ERC20 tokens, we use Ether, we use BET, we use the ones that were issued by somebody else. So what we give you is an access card. It is technically a product. This is not a financial instrument. This is a product. This is not different from an access card. This is a hard disk, but anyway, this is not different from a physical access card just on the blockchain. So this is one of the things. And the other thing is that in this way, we open up the possibilities for lots of gamification. For example, we don't know we don't know who is going to get the 1%. It is going to be somewhere in the 10,000 cards. And this opens up a lot of interesting game mechanics that you can actually gamify your fundraising, gamify your monetization.
Got it. That totally makes sense. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And so I have kind of follow-up question because you touched on the topic on incentivizing the early user, right? So I was wondering, how are you thinking about, like, around the topic of how do you distribute the cards? How do you decide the rarity of these traits? And then how do you like put them in perhaps different batches?
So what we do in this case is we came up with a rarity, and we are still fine-tuning and running tests on them, and to make sure that we've got a reasonable and feasible distribution of the traits. So everybody will be happy, but nobody will end up with like super powerful cards that has like every trait under the sun. And a lot of this is trial and error at this point, but I am working with game designers and with a financial psychologist who is helping me to get the right kind of traits in the right amount on the cards.
Got it. Thanks a lot. Last question from me.
Yes, please.
Like before anyone jumps in. So I'm wondering, like when you're talking about Sushi Swap and like they using like the same structure, are you planning to open source the code?
Yes, yes. Everything will be open source, MIT licensed, and this is the way. As
awesome.
Yes, everything will be open source and MIT licensed, and it would still work even with that. This is the point. That's what we want to do. We want to create something that is specifically targeting the open source projects, because those are the projects that are having the most problems monetizing.
I think I should also add, though, that we're also trying to make it so that it's probably not worth anybody forking it. It's a lot easier to work with us and just to work with us to white label the platform, because putting any project up takes a lot of time and effort.
Yep, and you got it right at the beginning when you said that this is just one application. So the Ether cards, you can imagine this whole project as two distinctly separate projects. One is the Ether cards platform, which is meant for NFT creators, giving them monetization and gamification strategies to actually make those NFTs useful. And then we have the feature token platform, for which the Ether cards platform is just the first use case. It's more like a pilot to show that it is indeed working. But it is actually the technology behind that. It can be used for any other projects, and hopefully will be used for many other projects on the blockchain to monetize and to support the fundraising efforts.
Makes sense. Thanks a lot. Much respect for your project.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, what are the upcoming releases, or I don't know, like
so far so good. I don't want to brag, but we did like out of nothing in 3 weeks we managed like 1,000 people plus on the Discord channel, lots of new followers on Twitter. We did a small pre-sale, which was very successful. I don't want to say numbers, but it was very successful. So it looks like people are interested in this, and we're getting a lot of great feedback from people you could not even imagine. I don't know if you know, like anti-pro synthesis on Twitter, who is basically an Ethereum a supporter and technically hates NFTs because he doesn't see the reason for that. And even him was talking about us, and I did not even promise him anything. So, we are getting this very humbling and enthusiastic responses from the community, and it probably shows that we are on the right track to do not only something financially successful, but also actually useful. Yes, and we've got people coming to us and wanting to work with us. We are in talks already with one of the major NFT marketplaces who wants to integrate with us. They also want to partake in the sale. So some of the tokens will be sold at their place. We also get one of the, technically it's open news, but since it's being recorded, I want to have the papers first. We also get one of the big players in the space with 20 million active users want to work with us to integrate in many ways and see in what we can do together. And we also get some great responses from artists and hopefully some other people coming into the space who see the opportunity in the funding mechanism and in making NFTs actually useful. So what we want to do is we want to get to a space where get to a point where you should not be able to do anything with NFTs without utilizing this or something like this, because plain old NFTs that are just not good for anything will not be desirable by anybody. So far so good. We've got it's a really extremely interesting
This is exciting
journey.
time for you and Dave and our
Yes,
team members.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So the people in this call asked me, like a few of them asked me, like how can they get involved, or like how, like what are things that they can buy, or like like
We
yeah,
visit ether.cards,
yeah.
the domain, and visit our Twitter, join our Discord, and then talk with me, and I'll do whatever I can for you. So because right now we don't have we closed the pre-sale.
Okay.
Because we're going to launch a little bit later on the 18th. We may have another pre-sale, but we did not decide yet. We are still working out the details. And after that, on the 18th, whatever card remains will be issued on our platform. We will have an NFTX pool filled with cards and liquidity. So there will be liquidity on the NFTX part as well. And by the way, this is something I'm going to use to support the early community. They will get the NFTX ERC20 tokens. I can do that because I did not issue them. So legally, I'm good. And so NFTX is coming online on day one. We are working with it as soon as we have the contract on mainnet, right, Dave?
Right, well,
we will
Right.
we will do that. And also the sushi swap pool that provides the liquidity for the same thing for the NFTX pool will be set up on day one. So we're going to go out with full integration with all the meaningful parts of the ecosystem. So I think it's going to be very exciting and hopefully very valuable for the people who support us. What I foresee that on the short term, it will be the art and the combinatory art on the cards that is going to drive the project. But on the mid-long term, it's going to be utility, the feature tokens, and the traits on the cards that's going to drive the project.
Dave, you're taking care of the technical side. Is that what you're doing?
I'm writing the code because Andras loves writing code, but suddenly I don't know how it happened. He just suddenly found himself just a little bit busy.
So we
Congratulations on the amazing progress.
Thank you. It's too early for congratulations, but it's definitely promising.
But it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
That you look on Twitter and you see the amazing positive feedback from just so many really well-known names in the space.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is
so hard for it.
And we've got a lot of and we've got a lot of supporters who are helping us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That they don't even want to be named, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
You're having another event coming up.
Yeah, 2 days time we're doing SKL.
Yeah.
I mean,
Harriet?
Yeah, with Harris, of course. I mean, my background. Both Andras and I have contributed to Hello Gold.
Yeah.
And Harris came out of Hello Gold before he moved into Etherscan. So Harris said, please, come on board. We'd love to.
So which city are you based? Ether cards, or it's just very distributed?
Distributed. I'm in Singapore. Some of my team members are in Singapore. Dave in Malaysia. Kinsan is in Malaysia. Mariana, she is the community manager. She is in Spain. I've got artist managers in Hungary. I've got supporters and advisors in the US. So it is very distributed.
We just got to Australia as well, haven't we?
I'm sorry?
We just got Australia on board as well, haven't we?
That's right. That's right. We've got our first hire from Australia as well.
Yeah. So a lot of job openings and people who are trying to find jobs in Taiwan too. So I don't know if you're hiring for more people.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
definitely reach out to the Taiwan communities as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Really enjoyed the presentation and the sharing.
And
yeah, the updates from Dave.
Thank you very much. Can I send messages here? Yes, I can. So if you want, then you can contact me at andras@ether.cards. If you allow me to do some like advertisement here, and on Twitter we are at ether.cards, and the project is on, not surprisingly, on ether.cards. So please reach out, please ping me, and I will do my best to get back to you and help you if you have any questions or if you would like to collaborate. We are looking for collaborations as well. We need to make sure that we make the best out of it, and we integrate with the community from day zero.
Yeah, so if Makara can think of something, we'd love to work with her.
Yes.
I mean, she knows I'm a big fan. So.
Yep.
I know. Thanks very much, and thanks everyone for coming to the event. So I want to say a few things about the next event. So the next event is organized by Oscar, who is the lead protocol for VAC P2P, the status wallet project. So he's having this event on Wednesday, March 24th. It's going to be an in-person meetup. And the topic is about polynomial commitments and evolution of corporation BitTorrent incentives. So CC Lam will be talking, and Oscar will also be talking. And if you'd like to become one of our speakers at either Papers We Love Taipei or Radical Exchange or Taipei Ethereum group, please feel free to drop me a message and let me know. Yeah, so thanks very much. I appreciate your time. So we'll end this event now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.